So yogi's choice on that, wherever you'd like to start this morning. I'm glad you all are here for your yoga. Sashi, no. Don't do that. You're on camera, my dear. Sasha's giving herself a bath right in the middle of the yoga class. Thank you. Yes, you're so pretty. Thank you. Okay, so self-care Sunday, apparently. Oh, so bringing yourself to your mats. That is a good theme for today. Yeah, if you haven't had too much of a chance this week, maybe today. There's Sarah. Sarah's joining us. We're starting off in child's pose. And if you'd like, if you have a couple blocks, you can put your elbows on some blocks. You don't have to. You can, if you'd like, even without the blocks, you can bend your elbows or bring your hands together out in front of you and bend your elbows and bring your hands to the back of your head. So yeah, so we were just saying that Sasha decided that it is deemed Self-Care Sunday. So breathing here. Breathing all the way up from the ground, all the way up the back, between the shoulders, all the way up and all the way back down. Feeling connected to the mat and the ground, the earth. And tuning inward. You might turn on the Ujjayi breath. So closing the back of your throat slightly so you can hear your breath. And again, we'll be moving kind of slow today, so you can use longer inhales and exhales. So if you haven't had a chance to breathe much this week, take the time now to really focus in on the sound of the breath, the breathing in and out of the nose, lengthening the inhales and exhales, completely filling up your lungs, especially right here, when you have a chance to really focus and slow down. And if you notice you're breathing from your chest or your throat, start to sink that breath down. Okay, so from here, we're going to find a way onto the heels. So walking the hands up towards your hips. If it doesn't feel good to sit on your heels, you can take those blocks and separate your feet and put them between your feet to sit on. If that's no good, you can just have a seat. And just take a moment to just kind of lean back to the side. So bring one hand behind you and just a little twist and a lean back. And then we'll go to the other side. and back to the center. And then interlacing the fingers. Turn the palms up, reach the arms up, palms up toward the ceiling. Really reach all the way through the shoulders. You can even reach your shoulders upward. And then leaning over to the right. So just take it as far as feels comfortable, a little lean to the right. And back to the center and over to the left. And back to the center and bring the hands back down. And we'll switch how we have the fingers interlaced. So the weird way with the other thumb in front. Reach the arms up and same thing, leaning over to the right. So think of up and over. So you're reaching up and over, grounding through the legs and back to the center. So root to rise, grounding down and reaching up and leaning over. Good. And back to the center, and we'll bring the hands down and coming into all fours. So hands relatively underneath the shoulders and the knees relatively underneath the hips. All right. So just reaching the right arm out in front and stretching the left leg back out behind. And you can bend that left knee and take a hold of the left foot with the right hand. Maybe you want a little back bend here. Don't worry, about going too far into it. We're first thing in the practice. And release, and we'll go to the other side. So left arm, right leg. Just reach out and pull your belly in here and just lengthen everything. Start to engage all the muscles, and then we'll bend the right knee, reach back with the left hand. Maybe you just touch the foot. Yeah. And bring it back down to all fours. We'll go right into down dog. So turn your toes under. Spread the fingers wide. If you want to even puff up the hands from the center and grip the mat, and then lifting the hips up and back. Bent knees is fine first thing in the morning. If you want to do that, walk it out. Or sway the hips side to side. Ooh, I forgot one I wanted to do. Let's get it in. Let's go ahead and bring the knees back to the mat. And dropping the hips over towards the right. Don't worry where they go. They might drop down to the mat. You can drop them down to the mat or just a little bit, and then back up, and then over to the left. Back up to the center. So a few more times on each side. And once you've evened out both sides, we will go back to downward facing dog. So set yourself back up and lift up. So reaching the chest towards the thighs and just lengthening the neck. And then from here, we'll come up to standing. So yogi's choice, you can either walk the feet up towards the hands, or maybe you feel like walking the hands back toward the feet. Whichever one you choose, we'll all get to the same place eventually. And from here, you can hang for a moment. Maybe alternate bending one knee at a time. Just release the neck, the head out of, the neck, or the head out of the shoulders. Finding your neck again after working all week. And we'll find our way up to standing. So maybe today rolling up. We're going to work on rolling the back today, as long as that is going to be all right for you. All right. So we'll step up toward the top of the mat. I'm going to grab my glasses real quick because y'all are kind of far away from me here. Let's see. Okay, now I can see y'all. Okay, so something different today. Starting off in mountain pose. We're going to reach the arms out in front. You don't have to make fists. You can if you want. And then pulling your elbows back. So opening up the chest and getting a stretch on the back. And then we'll reach the arms straight up, palms together. And on the exhale, bend your elbows and we'll bring the hands to the back of the head. And from here, we're going to roll down. So start rolling the spine down. And you don't have to pull on your head real hard. You know, don't do that. Roll down as far as you can. Maybe bend your knees. And then we'll roll all the way up. Reach the arms back up. And exhale, arms down to the side. Okay, so let's do that again. So reaching the arms out in front. And then bending the elbows and drawing them back. So squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. And then reaching the arms all the way up, palms together. All right, and then bending the elbows, bringing the hands behind the head. We'll start to roll down. So giving a stretch to the whole back. And then inhale, rolling up. So you might pull your belly in here. You might find that helps the lower back and all the way back up. And exhale, arms down to the side. All right, one more time. Inhale, reach the arms out in front. Draw the elbows back. Squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale. Bend the elbows and roll the spine down. Inhale, we'll come all the way up. Reach the arms up one more time. And exhale, arms down to the side. Okay, next one. Okay, this time, now today I am reaching my arms out in front, which is actually a way that you can do your sun salutations instead of reaching the arms out to the side and up. Sometimes, depending on how your collarbone's shaped and things like that, this actually feels better than coming up to the side. I know in Ashtanga, they're real, picky about doing this, but this is an option. So maybe today, reaching the arms straight up in front. And as you come up, lean back just as far as feels comfortable. Feel good and grounded in the feet. And then exhale into your forward fold. All right. And we're going to step the right foot back, coming into a lunge. Hold that just for a moment. Couple breaths here. Good. All right. Then planting the hands, stepping back to plank. Bending the knees and pressing back to child's pose. So hips towards the heels. All right. As we sit up on the heels, we're going to swing the arms back behind the back to the mat, like 6 inches behind. And then inhale. You might just lengthen the back. You don't have to drop the head back. We'll just open up the chest, get a stretch across the chest and the shoulders. And as you exhale, we'll come forward into all fours and press back to down dog, and we'll hold it here. All right, stepping forward with the right foot between the hands, coming into a lunge. So let's hold it. And then stepping the left foot forward to meet the right. Forward fold. And inhale all the way up to standing. So again, you might pull the belly in, reach the arms up, and And exhale, arms down to the side. Right, so doing that again. Inhale, reach the arms up and lean back. And exhale into your fold. Step in the right foot back to a lunge. And exhale into plank. Bring the knees down and press back to child's pose. Okay, we'll sit up on the heels, bring the hands behind the back. Inhale, arch the back up. Yep. Exhale, coming forward into all fours and pressing back to down dog. Stepping the right foot forward. Good. And then the left. Forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, arms to the side. Good. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms up and a little back bend. Exhale, fold. Stepping the right foot back. And then the left foot back. And bring it back to child's pose. Lengthen the back. Reach the arms out. And in your exhale, swinging the arms back behind the body, sitting on the heels. Inhale, little back bend. Exhale, into all fours and to downward facing dog. All right. Inhale, stepping the right foot forward. And then the left. Forward fold. And inhale all the way up. Exhale, arms to the side. Great. Okay, so bend the knees and we'll bring the hands to touch the mat. Inhale, reaching the arms up for chair pose and maybe come up onto the toes. And then bringing the heels down, we'll bring the hands to heart center and take the twist to the right. So we'll bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Now, use your belly to help you twist here. So don't try to torque yourself with your arms or your hips. Use your belly to twist. All right, and back up to the center to chair pose. Maybe come up onto the toes. And bringing the heels down, we'll bring the hands to heart center and twisting to the left. So same thing. Don't torque your hips. Use your belly. And you can look up at the ceiling if you're there. Right? And inhale, reach up to chair pose. Exhale into a forward fold. Let's come up to a half lift. So either bring your hands to your shins or they can stay on the mat. Maybe to your ankles. Lengthen the back. And exhale, plant the hands. We'll step the right foot back to a lunge. And lifting the left arm up, coming into a twist. You can look up at your hand. Yeah. If you feel like you want to start to drop that arm back to get a little extra stretch there, you can. Okay. Exhale, left hand down to frame your foot. Step the left foot back to plank, and we're going to turn the heels to the left, reach the right arm up, coming into a side plank. If you need to bring that left knee down, you can. If you want to stack the feet or do something fancy with it, you can. Exhale, right hand back down to the mat, heels back to the center, and press back to down dog. All right, so right leg lifts. So reaching the right foot up toward the ceiling, just a nice big stretch. And we'll step forward between the hands, plant your back heel, and root to rise again. So inhale, we'll come up to warrior one, so the front knee's bent. Reach the arms up. Right now we're going to pivot. So turn toward the center, pivot your feet. Right foot in, left foot turns out, arms to a T, so in line with the shoulders. Lean over that left hip and we'll bring the left hand down, coming into extended triangle pose. And think of rooting to rise here too. So as you press the feet down, feel everything reaching up. Feel that strength and that energy rising up. Exhale, we'll bring both hands down to frame the left foot, and you can bend that left knee if you need to. You can fold over the left knee. Bend the left knee. And we're going to come up to warrior two, facing the left side. So you can wheel that right arm up and over the head, reach both arms out, and looking over towards the left fingers. Yeah. All right. Inhale, let's pivot the feet one more time. So left foot in, right foot out. You might want to grab a block. We're going to come into revolve triangle. So here, the left hand is going to come down to the inside of the right foot or the shin. The full expression is to the outside of that right foot. Now, if you use a block, let's say use a block on the inside of the foot. And then feel good and solid in the legs and start to rotate the shoulders. And again, using your core, using your belly to help you rotate. And if the shoulder is tight, you can bend your elbow and bring your hand to your lower back. So that's always nice. All right. Coming out of it, we'll bring both hands back down to the mat to frame the foot. You can bend the knee, bend that right knee. We're going to bring the right hand in front of the right foot. Start to float the left foot up, maybe the left arm, half moon. And if you fall over, that's okay. And exhale, we'll bring the hand and the foot down. So bring the left foot down next to the right, bend the knees. Inhale, back up to chair pose. So that's our flow. It's going slow. Exhale into a forward fold. And we'll step the left foot back from here. So left foot steps back and take a twist to the right. So right arm lifts. Exhale, right hand down and stepping back to plank. Turn the heels to the right and we'll lift the left arm up. So again, if you want to bring the right knee down, you can. That's still a, what do you call it? Side plank. And get a little arch to your body too. So in side plank, you arch a little bit in the torso and you notice how that just changes the whole dynamic, the energy. Exhale, we'll bring the left hand down, press back to downward facing dog. So lift the hips here, lengthen the arms. And left foot lifts. Stepping through between the hands, we'll plant the back heel. So pivot and plant the back heel. Left knee's bent. Inhale up into warrior one. So breathing. Check in with your breath. Even inhales and exhales. All right. Inhale. We'll straighten that left leg. Pivot the feet. And exhale. Arms to a T. We'll reach over the right hip and right hand comes down into your extended triangle pose. One more inhale. On the exhale, both hands come down to frame the foot. And again, that right knee can bend. Lengthen over the leg, maybe fold toward the knee. And then from here, bending the right knee. We'll come up to warrior two. So wheel that left arm up and over the head. Yeah, looking over the right fingertips. All right, one more time. We'll pivot. So inhale, straighten the right leg, pivot the feet. And we're going to bring the right hand down. So turn towards that left leg. Right hand comes down either to the inside or the outside of the left foot. You can use a block, if you wanted to work the outside of the foot, but you can't reach, use a block to the outside of the foot. You're lengthening the back and using your core to help you twist and stacking the arms, stacking the shoulders. Exhale, we'll release the hands down. You can bend the left knee, left hand in front of the left foot, and start to float the right foot up. So lengthen the whole body there. Open up the hip. So in your half moon, it's just like triangle without 2 feet on the mat, and you're strengthening the leg, the glutes, and stretching and opening up the hip. All right, one more time. We'll bring the right hand down, step the feet together. So let's do that again. We'll go a little bit faster, not too much. Bend the knees, inhale. So think about flowing this time. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale into fold. Step the right foot back and twisting to the left. So left arm lifts. Yep. All right, we'll bring the left hand down. Back to plank and side plank to the right. So heels turn to the left, right arm lifts. And exhale, right hand back down to the mat, downward facing dog. So press the hips up and back. Right foot lifts. And stepping through between the hands, plant your back heel. Inhale, up into warrior one. So arms lift. On your inhale, straighten the right leg. We'll pivot the feet. Left foot turns out. Left hand down to your shin or the ankle or the mat or block. All right, one more inhale. On the exhale, both hands come down to frame the left foot. Bend the left knee and rise back up to warrior two. Arms to a T, left knee bent. All right. Inhale, we'll straighten the left leg, pivot the feet. Okay, revolve triangle. So left hand comes down to, now you can also bring both hands to your shin. So that's like the first step. If you feel like you need that to even out the hips. Some days, especially with it cold, sometimes you got to start from step one. And exhale, we'll bring both hands back down. So the right hand down, shift forward, right hand in front of the right foot, float the left leg up. Maybe the left arm comes up with it. One more inhale, exhale, left hand down. Step the left foot next to the right. Bend the knees, inhale, chair pose. Exhale into your fold. Left foot steps back. Right arm lifts. So twisting in that lunge. Exhale, right hand comes down. Step back to plank. So you can arch up the back here and then step back. Yeah. And then side plank to the left. So heels turn to the right, left arm lifts. Okay. Left hand down. Hips press up and back. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. And step through between the hands. Pivot and plant the back heel. Rising up. Warrior one. Think of root to rise here. Just let everything come up. Reach up. Inhale, we'll straighten the left leg. Pivot the feet. Arms to a T. Right hand to the right leg. Or your toe, your big toe. You might take a hold of your big toe. And inhale. On the exhale, both hands. Frame the foot. Bending your right knee. Left arm wheels up and over the head. Arms to a T. Right knee bent. Inhale, we'll straighten the right leg. Pivot the feet. And revolve triangle with the right hand down. And you can keep micro bends in the knees. So exhale, left hand down. We'll shift forward into half moon, floating that right leg up. Exhale, right hand down. Step down. One time. Okay. All right. And from here, we're going to come into a squat. So now I believe Sissa's probably can, I know she can squat down with her knees together or heels on the mat. Me, not so much. So you might either, you could sit on the blocks. So that's an option, and just feel where you're tight or where there's resistance. I totally forgot to get a blanket. I meant to do that. You can roll up a blanket. Let's see, I got a little one here. You can roll up a blanket or a towel and place it underneath your heels. I'm trying to think of any others. Oh, the back of the mat. So if you don't have a blanket, you can roll up the back of your mat. That's what I was going to do. There we go. All right. And just take some time to lengthen the back here, sink the heels down. You might feel, a pull in the front of your legs or even the tops of your feet. That's okay. So lengthening the back and just catching your breath. For a moment. All right, we're going to come up to standing, so you can place your hands on the mat and start to straighten the legs. We roll up And when you get there, we'll step out around to the long side of the mat, feet nice and wide, about 4 feet apart. And you can turn your feet out slightly. Okay, arms out to a T and bend the knees. So this is our challenging pose today. Okay, now you can stay right here. If you'd like, you can bend the elbows. And from here, we're going to lean to the right. So maybe touch the right elbow to your leg. You can reach the left arm up. And then over to the other side. So we won't hold it. We're just going to go side to side. If you need to stand up for a second, shake it off, and then come back into it, you can. So let your legs, let the strength of your legs and your glutes hold you here. Don't just rely on your flexibility, right? Let's do even out both sides, come back to the center, all right? And then stretching the arms out, maybe come up onto the toes. Okay, I gotta stretch that out for a second. After doing this several times this week, I had to shake that off for a second. Okay, coming up on the toes, arms out to a T, and from here we're gonna reach up and over. Oh boy, up and over. And if you don't want to be on your toes here, that's okay too. So let's say that's 7, 8, 9, and 10. Fantastic. Straighten out the legs. We'll turn the feet parallel with the sides of the mat. Take a couple breaths. And bring the hands to the hips. Lengthen the back. You can arch the back and look up. And on an exhale, fold forward. So pull your belly in and fold forward from the hips. If you want to separate the feet a little more, you can. We'll just bring the hands underneath the shoulders. And you're welcome to stay there. You can walk the hands back and bring the crown of the head to the mat. We've got these blocks. So I found from sitting this week, having some tightness, and I found myself wanting to rest on blocks and rest my head on blocks here, and actually kind of dug that a little bit. And you can also bend your knees if you need to. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so think of lengthening your back here also. And if you're not resting on blocks, use your belly to pull yourself towards your legs. And lengthen. All right. And we'll come halfway up. So walk your hands up underneath your shoulders and just lengthen your back. You can even let your lower back arch a little bit here. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears. All right, and we're going to come down to seated. So if you want to just fold your legs in, you can. If you want to walk them together back into a squat, you're welcome to do that. Okay, so some long holds from here. So you can bring the feet out in front and either hands next to you, or maybe today bring your hands back behind you just a little bit, just a few inches, and lengthen the back. Dandasana, so flexing your toes back toward you, pressing the legs down, pressing the hips down, and then reaching the chest up and opening up the chest and shoulders. All right, so we come forward, bend your right knee, we'll bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg for Janu Shirshasana. So we're gonna hold it for a little bit. So if you're feeling it, you can just reach forward and can round the back today. So we're doing this more of a yin way. You can round the back. You can support your head with a block. You could place a block underneath your knee, which is really nice. Maybe today try, instead of flexing your foot totally all the way back towards you, maybe reach the ball of your foot forward or even point your toes. So maybe try something different today and just notice how that changes the pose for you. But relaxing the back all the way up, stretching the neck and relaxing the head down. And staying tuned inward. So check in with your breath. If you find, your mind wandering or anxieties coming up, use the breath to stay tuned inward. On an inhale, we'll come back up, so you can use your hands to help you walk back up. We're going to open up the knee out a little bit more to create a little bit more of an angle. Okay. And one more time, walk the hands forward. Little forward fold here. Inhale, coming back up and leaning to the left. So you might just fold your left arm inside the leg. We'll lean towards that left leg. You can reach up and over if you'd like with the right hand. So if you've got tight back muscles, this is a nice way to get in to those muscles that are along the spine while you're here, like on the right side. You could get in there and get to some of those trigger points, tight places on the hips and the pelvis and the spine, underneath the ribs sometimes. And inhale, take your time coming up. Okay, we're going to turn that left foot down toward the mat. So, and you can place your hands on the mat to support you. Turn the left foot down. So your toes down, your knee's going to turn down toward the mat. And then back up. And again. And back up. So just do this just a few times. You might hear popping and crackling, especially if you haven't done this for a while. All right, fantastic. So straighten out the right leg. So I'm all kinds of wonky on the mat, doesn't matter, right? Coming into a seated angle. And you're welcome to stay right here if you'd like. Coming into the forward fold. Moo came to give you kisses. I don't know if you heard that. All right, inhale will come up. And let's see. We'll swing both legs back together. And bending your left knee, we'll bring that to the inside of the right foot. coming into Janu Shirshasana on the right side. So again, maybe you prop your head up with a block on the knee or a block under the knee. If you need that, that is really nice actually. And just folding over that right side. And so inhale, we'll work our way back up. And again, we'll take that left knee out a little bit more to open up that angle. And set yourself back up for a little forward fold here. And inhale, we'll come on up and leaning over to the right. So again, you can just fold that right arm to the inside of the leg. If you want to reach up and over with the left arm, you're welcome to do that. Same thing if you got any places on your back or your hips here, or even the front of your pelvis and the hip flexors, you can get in there. But really, those muscles along the spine sometimes are hard to get to, but something like this, you can get in there a little easier, or even up under the ribs or in the ribs, in between the ribs. Good. Inhale, come on up. And you support yourself with your hands, and we'll turn that right foot down. So turn the right toes down toward the floor. Knee comes with it, of course. If it doesn't, there's a problem. And we'll then bring the toes back up and back down. So just take your time. I have noticed I started doing this at the beginning of the week, and I was popping, and it was, things were grinding and making horrible noises. And this morning it's nice and smooth. So something to be said about just sticking to it, working these things. All right, back to the center. Okay, so one more, let's see. Actually, okay, before we do that, let's bend the knees, coming into butterfly pose. And again, keeping the feet a little distance from you, so making a diamond with the legs. And you can take a hold of your shins or ankles or feet, lengthen the back, and one more forward fold here. You can round the back here. You can prop your head up with the blocks again. Some people, I've heard it said that if you're tight in the hips, you can separate the feet and place a block between the feet, and that's supposed to make it better. I find that is a little bit more uncomfortable, but that is you might like that. So maybe try that. Maybe since it's uncomfortable for me, maybe I need to do that. So that's a thought. And while you're here, relax your shoulders, relax the neck, relax the head down. Good. So inhale, we'll rise back up. And with let's bring the right foot back behind. So coming into deer pose, you're making a right angle with both legs. So that's where we'll start. And then trying that hip mobility move where we bring both knees up and then switch sides. So rolling from side to side. So switching sides, switching sides. And again, if you're popping and cracking or lots of weird noises, loud noises, you might try this a few times this week. I don't know how to stop your butt from walking away from the mat when you do this, but so just a couple more rounds, even out both sides. And when we get back to the center, find your way back to the mat. If you walked your butt off the mat like I just did. And bend your knees and we'll roll on down, rolling down, rolling down. And with the knees bent, we'll drop them over to the right. We'll side stretch. We're in a side stretch. So we were talking at the beginning about foam rolling. I'm wishing right now that we all had foam rollers because we could roll out the sides of our legs, the glutes, the piriformis, all the way down the sides of the legs. If you get a chance to do something like that, either later today or sometime this week, do that, especially if you're feeling tight in those places. You might have tightness there in the sides of the legs and not even know it. So. All right. Inhale. inhale back to the center, and exhale over to the left. So lately we've been working on keeping the knees together and then opening up to the side, opening the arm and the shoulder out to the side. And inhale, we'll bring the knees back to the center. And coming into Shavasana, so legs extended out along the mat, arms next to you, palms up. We're going to do a little pranayama before the end of our class here today. So to keep it simple, take an inhale from your belly, and then at the top of the inhale, we're going to hold the breath for a count of 5, and then exhale. If you want to work the bandhas, essentially you're holding Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, so you're pulling the belly in and then inhale, and then hold for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and as you exhale, your belly kind of relaxes just a little. Then you pull the belly back in and inhale up. So you can do that with or without the bandhas. And hold for a count of 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. So keep going. So inhaling, holding for a count of 5, and then exhaling. And if you notice you're starting to tense up anywhere, the legs, the back, or the shoulders and the neck, keep telling yourself to relax. And after your next exhale, just completely relax the breath. Take a few more just natural inhales and exhales. Relax the back and your shoulders and your neck and your head and the legs and the arms and the hands and the feet. And then starting to bring movement back in. So wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe today windshield wipering the legs. So dropping the knees down to one side and then the other and the other. And you can roll over to your favorite side. Use the strength of your arms to come back up to seated. All right. And sealing in your practice. Oh, stay warm and cozy. That's all I can say. Keep moving. Keep warming up the body. And fighting stiffness and soreness, whatever. If there's anything I can help with, please let me know. The light in me reflects that and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.